In today's world, we need to be prepared to keep ourselves and our family safe. In Guns & Ammo's new personal defense video series, we're going to give you tools, tactics, and techniques so that you can protect yourself and your family. Regardless of the pistol and ammunition you're using, sooner or later you're bound to experience a malfunction. Here I'm using a Car X9 and I've set up what's called a stovepipe malfunction. And this is fairly common. And when this happens, there's a very simple technique you could do, which is called the immediate action drill. And that will help clear the malfunction regardless of whether it's this or some other type of malfunction. You don't want to use a different clearance technique for every type of malfunction because that's too much to remember. You need to be focused on the threat. You need to be able to just get your gun fixed. It has to be second nature. So if I'm up here like this and either I notice this big piece of brass here or I press the trigger and nothing happens, the first thing I need to do is tap the magazine. I need to do that because sometimes the magazine release may have been hit and the magazine may not be fully seated, and that could be your problem. So tap the magazine to make sure it's fully seated. Then what I like to do, because this is natural for me, I just roll this over and I grab here. I get as many fingers as I can on that slide and I just rack it. And there it goes, it fell right out. You'll see a lot of people do some stuff like this. That's a good way to cut your hand, and it's completely unnecessary. Tap, rack, and assess the situation. If you need to fire, you can fire. That will clear the vast majority of malfunctions. Now, if you experience a double feed, or what some people call an inline failure to extract, that technique won't work, and you'll have to go to the remedial action drill. I'll set that up and show you what that looks like. So now I've set up a double feed or an inline failure to extract. So what happens is there's one casing that's stuck in the chamber and there's another round that's trying to get in there. So I still will do the tap rack first, because anytime I press the trigger and I don't get a bang, I'm gonna do tap rack. But as you can see, nothing happened there. So now what I have to do is I have to strip that magazine out of the gun. I turn it over the same way, cycle, cycle, cycle. There it fell out. I grab a new magazine because the problem is oftentimes caused by the magazine. Then I just do the tap rack and I'm ready to go. Now, let's say you only had one magazine, you didn't have a spare. Then what you would have to do is remove that magazine, stow it somewhere like here, cycle, 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 re-grab the magazine, insert, cycle, and back on target. So there you have it, folks. The immediate action drill, and if that doesn't work, the remedial action drill. You need to be proficient at clearing malfunctions so you can stay in the fight. If you like this information, be sure and check out the other videos in our Guns & Ammo personal defense series.